Treasurer Jim Chalmers has warned of the impact rate rises are having on consumption ahead of the RBA's meeting this afternoon. Our political reporter Cam Reddin is live in the studio. And Cam, we've just got some fresh data out. The retail volume's also taking a hit recently, reinforcing what the Treasurer is saying on this front.
Yeah, the Treasurer, of course, cautious, I suppose, not to directly preempt the RBA's decision, which will be made later this afternoon. We'll hear more from the Reserve Bank Governor today as well, Michelle Bullock. But in the last few minutes, retail trade figures are in, essentially retail spending, how much people are spending at the shops, falling again month on month by 0.4 of 1 percentage point. And the Treasurer making this point today at a press conference that the rate rises over the past 2 years, 13 times in that period, are having an impact on family budgets, that we're seeing a direct correlation with spending now being reined in and households being able to spend less when they go to the shops and their savings getting squeezed as well. It puts the budget next week into a particular context. The Treasurer has already noted this will not be a slash and burn budget. There is not going to be a drastic wave of spending cuts when he hands down the budget next Tuesday night. The Treasurer very aware today of the impact that rate rises are having, wary too of the nature of the economy, with inflation still lingering, being sticky in the system, and the potential that rate cuts may happen later than many households are hoping.
I think everybody would acknowledge that the rate rises in the system are putting a lot of people under pressure. They are one of the reasons, but not the only reason, why our economy, and particularly consumption in our economy, has slowed considerably. You can see that we are doing our bit, and the Reserve Bank will take its decisions independently.
So a direct acknowledgement there from the Treasurer that he's aware of the spending pressures, or I suppose the broad pressures on family households and family budgets. Welcoming to the Treasurer today an improvement in the government's overall gross debt position, which has come in about $150 billion lower than was anticipated before the election, where it was projected to be just over $1 trillion at the peak. Now projected to peak around 10% lower, just over $900 billion, Kieran.
And Cam, the government's also unveiled some details around its early childhood strategy. What's happening?
Yeah, this is the early years strategy, Kieran, where the government is looking to bring together many of the different policies from childcare to early childhood education and other things in the system to pull it together as part of a 10-year roadmap to bring many of those policies together and give the youngest of Australians a better start in life. It'll bring together various early childhood policies into one broad line strategy, more of a mission statement today, if you like, that will then be put into action over coming years, over an action plan, which the first one will be out later this year. It'll lay out the actual practical steps that the government will take to improve access, for example, to childcare and also to improve many of the services and the access to services for disadvantaged children. As part of this too, the government's setting up a new 20-person parents and carers group made up of exactly that, parents and carers, which is going to advise them on policy to best achieve those outcomes.
We know that if we get those first 5 years, those critical first 5 years right, we can make a huge difference to a child's life.
It's just over 2 million children in Australia, Kieran, under the age of 5. As I say, that first action plan will be out later in the year. That's where we'll see the concrete steps the government will take to improve their start in life.
Cam, thanks.